In my previous video, I talked about the steady decline of superhero movies and how we as a general populace have shifted our focus away from these mediums as a whole. Our actions as an audience has had a major effect.
We've been working very hard on the next Deadpool film for a good long while now.
And I mean a very major effect. It's no surprise that characters like the X-Men, especially Deadpool and Wolverine, are loved by fans. And that helps garner a lot of attention for these films, whether they be amazing or horrendous. This, of course, is no different for the upcoming Deadpool Wolverine film. I mean, this is a reunion that people have been wanting to see since X-Men Origins Wolverine. Not to mention, we're finally going to see that beautiful yellow and blue suit on the big screen. I mean, this should be a home run for Marvel. All they should have to do is show Hugh Jackman in that suit, and people should be sprinting to the theaters, right? Well, according to Variety, yeah, that's the case. Reportedly, Deadpool and Wolverine is projected to earn over $165 million its opening weekend as of July 3rd. This reading was based off of public interest prior to Marvel's marketing campaign. With all of this marketing push, it's projected to be an even higher number than 165 million. With audiences giving up on superhero movies, this project can and will be a make or break it moment for Marvel. And that's exactly why I'm making this video. Because today, we're gonna find out, is Deadpool Wolverine truly worth it? At the time of writing and recording this video, we are approximately 6 days away from opening weekend, and I'll be making sure to bring you guys along for the journey. I'm gonna give you my predictions of the movie for the beginning. I will take you into the theater during, not gonna show any of the movie, don't worry about that. And then after, I'll give you my initial thoughts right out of the theater and give my final review once I've had time to sit on it. So let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with my predictions. I am cautiously optimistic for this movie. My biggest fear is that the writers are going to use nostalgia as a crutch, ultimately leaving the story feeling lackluster. The biggest reason why I worry they're going to do this is because they're kind of already doing it with the trailers. Spoilers for the trailers for Deadpool and Wolverine. Skip to whatever you see on the screen to avoid that, because I am going to be talking about a character they revealed. Don't get me wrong, I am extremely excited to see Daphne Keane return as X-23. That is amazing. Did I want to see that while scrolling on my Instagram story? No. Everyone can argue that trailers are avoidable, and I completely agree with that. Until they take a screenshot of that specific character and post it everywhere, on every news story that I follow, on every post, on everything. Is it so hard to put a spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine slide? I did it 2 seconds ago. Either way, I digress. As for the story, I think it's going to be Deadpool kills the Fox universe, or some iteration of that. Either Deadpool is going to make a deal with the TVA and say, hey, let me keep my universe and I'll help you prune all these other ones, or the TVA is specifically recruiting Deadpool to go prune these universes. And somehow Cassandra Nova gets in the way. Either way, I think we're going to see a lot of old actors reprise their respective roles in this film. I'm thinking of it as what everyone thought Multiverse of Madness was going to be. I know that you should never judge a book by its cover, but for the sake of comparison, I'm going to give this movie a predetermined rating. So based off of all of the trailers and all of the marketing they've been doing, I think this movie is sitting at an easy 5 or 6. Just off of everything I've seen. I also think it's worth mentioning that at the time of recording this video, the red carpet premiere is happening tonight. So no official reviews have been given for the movie yet.
I just woke up and the red carpet premiere was last night. Reviews are pretty outstanding so far. I've seen nothing but 10 out of 10s. Someone had said that Deadpool and Wolverine is the nostalgia fest you've been waiting for, which does not bode well at all. But, you know, we're in it. We're here. Let's see. I'll see you guys at the movie theater. Let's go.
As I ordered my tickets, I realized that this movie is all about friendship, being with your best bub. So I knew I couldn't do this journey alone. I had to call up my best friend Jake.
Yo.
Hey man, you want to go see Deadpool and Wolverine with me?
Let's go. Yes, of course.
Awesome.
Live reaction.
This was definitely not planned or scripted at all, dude.
Now with Jake on board, all that was left to do was pack and start my 3-hour journey back to my hometown.
Let's go! The man, the myth, the legend. Let's go!
We got Jake. You might recognize Jake from the CCA. It was a podcast that we had done.
Yes, very successful.
It was, yeah. I mean, if you guys didn't hear about it, honestly, you guys just weren't on the internet at that point. He's also going to be in my upcoming short film Desolate as a zombie and as a cult member. We want the whole Deadpool and Wolverine experience. I mean, look at him. He's wearing a Deadpool shirt. I'm wearing my Wolverine getup. I even got a mask. We're at the theater right now. What is your biggest want from this movie?
Two things. One, any type of Hulk variant to be in the movie.
That'd be fire.
Anything.
That would be fire.
Two, and I've told Angus this before, there be a 2D animated Deadpool variant in here, like an anime Deadpool, something 2D variant interacting with real world people.
Obviously, I want good writing, but I think like if I'm talking about like cameos, I want Ian McKellen to come back as Magneto. Like I think more than anything, I want Ian McKellen as Magneto.
It is a very big possibility.
If they do a Hulk cameo, I'm gonna eat my words on this stupid. Like we're back. Walking up to the theater right now. What's your predetermined rating? What do you think it's going to be?
Coming into it, I was thinking about this. I'm going to say a conservative 7 at the moment.
Mine was a 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully, when we're walking out of the theater, we're just screaming at this phone. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that we are seeing it in 4DX. So what do you think of it?
Easy 9 out of 10.
Really?
Really?
9? 9? Wow.
I mean, the biggest thing was the story for me, so. Yeah. No,
I don't know, I'm thinking like a 7 right now. So we just got out of Deadpool and Wolverine. You heard a little bit of our thoughts when we were walking out of the theater, and then we felt weird having a camera out.
Yeah.
We're in the car now though, and talking about it. I thought it was great. Definitely 8 out of 10. I know I said 7 out of 10 in the theater. Jake says 9.
I agree. I would say definitely a solid 8. I would push it to a 9 for me. I think it has a great message.
Yes, and that at the end of the day is what it's all about. If you love the X-Men, if you grew up watching the X-Men movies, go watch this movie because you're gonna have a really fun time. Even if you didn't, I think you're gonna have a fun time. This is a very fun action movie.
You can probably tell right from the get-go, the way we were reviewing it, I wasn't expecting the story and the plot to be something to behold. But, with the message playing and obviously the characters are familiar, we love seeing the cameos and such, that kind of distracted me from kind of I wouldn't say lazy writing, but it is definitely weaker in terms of the past Deadpool movies, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I can definitely get behind that and agree with that. But yeah, I'll give you guys my final thoughts in just a couple of seconds.
So it's been a couple of days. I have some thoughts. When it comes to my rating, I'm gonna keep it at 8 out of 10. Now, don't get me wrong, the story is nothing to write home about. It's very bland, very basic, but this movie has so much heart. And I'm talking about more heart than nearly every project the MCU has put out in the last 5 years, minus X-Men 97. In my last video, I talked about whenever a writer cares about these characters, you can feel it through everything in the movie. And let me tell you, Deadpool and Wolverine, you can feel it. You can feel how much the writers care, not only about Deadpool and Wolverine, but every character that appears in the film. This movie was an absolute joyride, something that didn't take any breaks from start to finish, and definitely deserves to be seen in theaters, especially if you grew up on the Fox Marvel movies like I did. This movie exceeded my expectations and genuinely surprised me. But don't just take my word for it. Let's take a look and see what Jake had to say about the film.
Here are my final thoughts on the film Deadpool and Wolverine. At the end of the day, I'm going to give this film a 9 out of 10. It's a very high rating, but it's really me being excited and elated to finally be in a theater to watch a solid Marvel movie. Let's start with my cons. Number one, the biggest con I have with the movie is that the plot itself, I would say weak at best. And I would say my second con is some of the choices they've made with some of these characters that have been in past Deadpool movies. Once again, not to give away too much, but some of it feels very out of place. I can see kind of why they made some of these creative decisions to fit the narrative of the story, but since we've had these characters for 2 whole movies, it is a little jarring to see some of these choices they've made for our legacy characters in the Deadpool universe. Pros: the movie has a great message and some great emotion added to it, which in tandem I think takes away from me not liking the main issue that's being played in the movie that our characters have to solve. It does take away from that. And obviously, you know, this movie was made to get Deadpool and Wolverine on screen just as much as the Obi-Wan Kenobi show was to get Ian McGregor and Hayden Christensen back on screen, let alone together at the same time. And I think that's enough to have this movie exist. And I think in another case, it's good to see great writing and great emotion being told into it. As you can see earlier in the video, that was my biggest hope, was to make sure that there was a message and solid reasoning, solid emotion to the film to really drive home the fact that this may be the last time we see these characters. You don't know. It's a great send-off if it is the last film. Lastly, of course, it being a multiversal film, the cameos are great performances, and they don't feel necessarily like shoehorn cameo characters like other films, maybe like a Multiverse of Madness, for example. And since it is a comedy, they do work really well, and the performances are great from cast all around. Once again, my final thoughts. This was a solid film, and I feel very refreshed talking about it because I'm excited about this movie. I know it's already reached, as of the recording date of this, I believe it's the 28th. I know it's reached over 200 million, and it's probably going to be, again, the highest grossing R-rated film of all time, which would not be a surprise. So at the end of the day, I thank my friend Angus for letting me be a part of this and letting me have a platform to speak my opinion about the movie. And cheers to seeing more great Marvel movies in the future.
At the end of the day, my biggest takeaway from this film isn't the action, nor is it the story. It's about appreciating our best friends and enjoying the memories we make along the way. That's what life is all about, these little moments. Moments that may seem insignificant, but in 10 years from now, you'll look back on as some of your fondest memories. And that's exactly why you need to go see Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters, starting July 26th. Wait a second, hold the phone. Am I a part of the marketing now? Oh, fuck. It's literally everywhere I go, even here. I'm marketing, you're marketing. Look in the mirror, you're probably Deadpool. This movie's taken over my whole life. Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. Oh God. I've had to record that bit like 4 times. I wanna make sure it's funny, and I'm sure my neighbors think I'm insane. Subscribe.